The story you tell yourself about your kid's behavior is actually a lot more triggering than the behavior itself. And when you realize this and how your brain reacts to certain things, it makes parenting so much easier because your brain is dramatic as fuck and wants to make everything like life or death the most dramatic situation ever. We were running around the house this morning trying to get everybody ready to get out the door. I was nursing the baby and I asked my 5-year-old, hey, your sister's water bottle's right there. Can you pick it up and go put it in her school bag? And he looked at it and then he looked at me and he was like, no. And I was like, please, it would be super helpful for mom. And he was like, no, that's sister's responsibility. I don't want to do it. And I was annoyed, okay? And then immediately my brain starts spiraling into this doom spiral of like, he's not being helpful right now. Is he going to grow up to be like the least helpful person ever? Why can't he think about others? What am I doing wrong? Like, he's 5 years old. He should be able to help our family right now. Do we need to like do some dramatic punishment to teach him that you have to help in our family or else? Like, do we start taking stuff away? What do I do to teach him that this isn't okay? Because I don't want him to grow up to be an asshole. Okay? All because he said, no, that's sister's responsibility and I don't really want to do that right now, which is a valid point because it is her responsibility. And I was just asking him to be helpful. And so now my brain is spiraling about how he's like the worst kid ever and he's never helpful and what have I done wrong, and like we must be going off track as parents and like everything is horrible. And I caught myself and I had to take a step back and be like, okay, but is that actually true? Because my brain was trying to send me on this dramatic spiral, like real drama queen vibes. And I was like, is this actually true? Or is he helpful all the time? And this just happens to be the one time where he's like, no, thank you. I don't want to do that. But then when I thought about it, I was like, okay, yeah, like he's helpful all the time. He's always doing stuff to help his brothers, to help me, to help around the house. Like this is one example where like he wasn't helpful. And would it have been nice? Yeah, but is it the end of the world and he's the worst kid ever and I'm the worst mom ever and like I have to go start punishing him and sending him to timeout and taking stuff away to teach him a lesson? No, that's just my brain being dramatic, okay? And so I want you to be aware of this because sometimes when your little kids like backtalk or they say something rude or they don't want to help you or they hit their brother one time, your brain will spiral and will tell you like, this is the end of the world. This is horrible. You've got to nip it in the bud. This is really dramatic. Like this, you're failing as a mom. And you got to be like, okay, like chill a little bit there because this is really not that dramatic if I take a step back and look at the overall picture of like, has my kid ever helped? Okay, tell me what your brain spiraled about this week down below and we can chat about it, because sometimes all of our brains as moms just like to be really dramatic.